Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I haven't been on here all that much. We're going to try to change that, but with the new diagnosis and the new job, getting all that sorted out and ready and planned, it's just kind of been a crazy couple weeks. So, as you guys know, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I thought I would talk to you a little bit about my mental health issues. So I am diagnosed with, could you not? OCD, PTSD, GAD, and ADHD, depression, and dysthymia. Okay, so what do those things mean? OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder, PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, GAD is generalized anxiety disorder. Did I say ADHD? I don't know if I did or not, but it's attention deficit disorder. And then I think that was it for the acronyms, I think. And then I have depression and dysthymia. Dysthymia is like a low level of depression all the time, and then depression is like a high level of like, I just don't really have the motivation to do life today, you know? So anyways, OCD, how has it affected me? So my OCD is not the typical, oh, I want everything cleaned, I want everything in a certain way, you know. There are some things that I'm like that about, but not really that big of a deal, you know. My things were usually feeling of needing to do something repetitive. Like if I didn't do this 3 times or do this with the door open, then something was going to happen and I was going to die, or somebody in my family was going to die. Chemicals, like for the longest time I would not use any cleaning products. I still have a hard time with this one actually. And I would like freak out. I thought I was gonna get the chemicals on me or my hands and in my mouth or in my brother's mouth or Allie, you know what I mean? Like somehow I was gonna contaminate them, spread this, somebody was gonna ingest it and they were going to die. It wasn't even just like poison control, I have to go to the hospital. No, they were gonna die. And the same kind of theory, misled thinking for raw meats as well. I just was the same way. Like one time I didn't see somebody wash their hands in between grabbing a paper towel and touching bacon, and I threw the entire paper towel roll away and sat in my room and rocked myself back and forth, having a complete meltdown until my mom came in there and just held me and told me that it was okay, and you know, just like a bunch of stuff to help me calm down and rationalize with it. But the thing is OCD is not a rational thing, you know, and it's not all about just everything has to be clean. Just so sometimes that's what people do for comfort. Like cleaning does comfort me, but it's only certain things have to be clean, if that makes sense. I'm not necessarily like, I like things sanitary, but it's not like a big deal for me to have a little bit of clutter around the house, if that makes sense. So anyways, that is one of the ways that my OCD affects me, just kind of how that has affected me. And you know what? So many people are misled to believe that it's just the cleaning and the keeping everything just so and lining stuff up. No, that's not necessarily OCD. Those can be some symptoms of OCD, but that's not necessarily the main thing that gets looked at here. So the other thing is my PTSD. I was sexually assaulted, as I talked about in one of my last videos, and so now certain voices that sound similar to him, accents, I don't know, there's even been a couple occasions where smells kind of set me off, send me into an extreme panic attack, can't breathe, you know, and sometimes even I just become unresponsive, like kind of not a full dissociation, but similar to that, you know, where it's just like I can't hardly talk, I can't think, I just freeze up, you know. So there's that. That's how kind of my PTSD affects me. I've gotten a lot better about controlling it and stuff, but for the longest time I thought I would see him everywhere, and everything like that, because he did, on top of assault me, stalk me even after we moved houses to kind of get away from that area and away from those people. Still showed up at in my neighborhood, at least. I don't know if he ever made it all the way to my house. I just like had to get my brother out of this situation when he came up to me and kind of confronted me. So anyways, enough about that. And then I have generalized anxiety disorder, which is basically just like I constantly have a little bit of anxiety, like have a panic attack or something for I don't know what reason, really. Always, it's just kind of there, you know. And then for me, the ADHD, the attention deficit disorder, that one is kind of hard to explain, because as I've gotten older, I'm not so much the hyper as I am just like my mind's kind of going 12 different directions, and I don't know. ADHD is really misunderstood, so I'll make a separate video on that, just because there's a lot to it that can be very easily misinterpreted. So anyways, then you also have the depression, and this is just, like I said, where I basically just can't do life some days. And the thing is everybody's like, oh, I'm depressed. No, you're not. Depression is something that has lasted for a long time. I was diagnosed with dysthymia because there was a period where my depression got better but wasn't gone, you know. So anyways, I have like episodes of all of those things, and I've learned to control them. And yes, I do take medication to help with my anxiety. There was a point where I was afraid any food I ate was going to make me sick. And I was losing weight at a rate that was considered anorexic. And then it got to where I would get so anxious after I would throw up, and that lasted for a long time. I would make myself throw up, and it became like an obsession with my weight and stuff like that, and I was diagnosed with bulimia. And so the thing is, all of us have heard of these different things, and we use them as a joke sometimes. Oh my gosh, you're so OCD for lining up the pens, blah blah blah. And you know what, sometimes it's just great fun, but the thing is people doing that is what makes the stigma on mental health so much worse. We all need to understand that it's a real problem that people really need to work on. Just like you don't find out you have cancer and then decide, I'm not going to go see a doctor or seek any kind of treatment for it. No, you do what you have to do to get the help that you need to be able to survive. And that's what people need to realize with mental health. It's the same thing. You need to reach out for help. You can't just do it on your own always. Yes, there are workbooks and there are resources, and you can ask God for help, but honestly, sometimes you're given this challenge for a reason, and working through it will help you see what's going on. Like, why is this happening to me? I realized, I don't know how many years ago it was, but just that I've gone through all this crap and all these shit storms so that when I become a child and adolescent psychologist, I can genuinely say to a child, I understand how you're feeling. Like, I've been through that. I actually know what the process is. You know what I mean? Like, being in a wheelchair, that gave me a whole new perspective on how many places are not handicap accessible and things like that. So it's given me the chance to advocate for people like that in places that I realize a wheelchair can't fit through here. There's not a door that opens automatically. Things like that have to be accessible for someone who's in a wheelchair. And then different things that people need to look at for people who have mental disorders. It's not just an excuse that we use, because I've heard that so many times. You're just using that as an excuse to get out of it. Well, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. The fear is very real to that person, whether it's rational or not. That's part of the reason it's a disorder. But like I said, you need to reach out for help. That's really the first step. That's the only way you're going to get anywhere and get better. So, I mean, I hope this helps you guys. There are so many different resources, and I think I'm going to try to make a video on the different resources as well to kind of help you guys know. Of course, there's the suicide hotline and things like that. But anyways, that's kind of my experience with my mental disorders. Those are my diagnoses. And I've been in counseling for several years. Part of my problem is getting comfortable enough to actually tell somebody what was really going on. And like, it's hard to start over with someone new. So if you can avoid moving, or you know you're gonna move soon, I wouldn't necessarily start right now. I would just start looking when you move there, what's going to be available, what resources you have, and which office that you want to be seen in or will accept your insurance, that kind of a thing, because it's definitely really important. But I also know that there's expenses that have to be taken into consideration, and there are different free clinics around big, if you live near a big city, that you can go to and have free counseling and things like that. So I will try to find all the resources I can to give you guys links to, but definitely reach out. Do not give up on yourself. You are not crazy. You don't need to just get over it. Yes, it is all in your head, but not really. Sometimes a lot of these are just hormonal imbalances, just as diabetes is, you know. Anyways, you guys, thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I don't usually do videos quite this serious. I mean, I do, but I don't really. I like to be silly. I like to do crafts and DIYs. So if you guys have any other suggestions of videos for me, definitely comment below with that. If there was something on here that you're like, yes, girl, get it, go ahead and let me know. If you struggle with these issues, what are some of the resources that you have? Definitely let me know that as well, because that could help me or help somebody else who is watching this video. So anyways, you guys, you have a great rest of the day. It'll probably be night before this actually gets all the way uploaded, but whatever. Bye!